Have you ever stood up from a chair only to feel your legs hesitate beneath you like they no longer belong to you? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Like your body is whispering something you can't quite hear. Like your strength is quietly slipping through your fingers without warning. You walk every day. You're not inactive. You think you're doing enough. And yet, the stairs feel steeper than before. Your legs feel heavier. That steady confidence you once had. A sense of groundedness when you walked feels a little less certain. Maybe it started subtly. A little more wobble when you get out of bed. A bit more effort to carry groceries. Maybe you caught yourself looking for handrails even though you never needed them before. At first, you brushed it off. Just tired today, you said. I didn't sleep well, you reasoned. And again, and deep inside, a quiet fear began to grow. What if something's wrong? But no alarms are sounding. No injury. No visible illness. Just this. Silent draining. Like your legs are slowly forgetting how to be strong. You are not alone. In this, not at all. In fact, more people than you think are experiencing the exact same thing, but no one really talks about it. We live in a world that tells us to keep going, push through, stay active. But what if your strength is being stolen in ways that movement alone can't fix? Let's take a step back. Because sometimes the signs that our body is changing aren't loud. They're quiet. They creep in through the routine, disguised as normal aging. But not all weakness is inevitable. Some of it is preventable, some of it is reversible. But first we have to name it. One of the quietest thieves of leg strength is muscle atrophy, the gradual shrinking of your muscle fibers due to disuse or underuse. And here's the tricky part. You can be walking daily, even staying generally active, and still be losing muscle. Why? Because not all movement builds strength. Just because you're in motion doesn't mean you're resisting gravity. Doesn't mean your muscles are being challenged. Walking is wonderful for your heart, for your mind. But on its own, especially as you get older, it may not be enough to maintain the strength your legs need to truly support you. But let's be honest. The word atrophy sounds cold, clinical. It doesn't capture the quiet heartbreak of reaching for something and realizing your legs can't get you there with the same certainty they once did. It doesn't describe the invisible weight you feel when your body no longer responds the way it used to when stairs become mountains and chairs seem lower than they used to be. And sometimes it's not even just physical. Stress, loneliness, and emotional fatigue can also quietly steal from our bodies. You may have noticed it too during difficult seasons in life. Your energy dips, your appetite changes, you move less, eat less, sleep less. Over time, these tiny shifts compound. You don't notice the muscle loss day by day, but one morning, you wake up and realize you've grown weaker without knowing how or when. There's also something else, something many people overlook: nerve health. When your nerves stop firing properly because of age, poor blood circulation, or unnoticed vitamin deficiencies, your muscles begin to lose coordination. That's when you start feeling unsteady. That's when even a gentle slope feels uncertain. Your legs are trying, but the signals just aren't getting through as clearly as before. And yet, you may still look perfectly healthy on the outside. You can smile, hold a conversation, even laugh with friends. Inside your body, a quiet struggle is unfolding. And because no one sees it, you might start questioning yourself. Am I just being dramatic? Is this just part of getting old? Maybe I'm just tired. But deep down, a voice is whispering, something isn't right. And you're right to listen to that voice. Because what's silently draining strength from your legs isn't always obvious. It could be micronutrient depletion, like low B12 or vitamin D, slowly weakening the very roots of your muscle function. It could be inflammation, low-grade but constant, making your joints ache and your muscles lazy. Or it could be a slow loss of connection to your own body, to physical confidence, to the sense of power you once held in your stride. So if you're feeling a little weaker lately, not just tired, less grounded, less sure of your step, you're not imagining it, and you're not alone. Let's walk deeper into this together. Because the path to reclaiming your strength begins by understanding what's really been taking it away. It's strange how quietly the body changes. There's no announcement, no clear line between strength and struggle. One day you climb a few stairs and feel fine. Another day, those same stairs feel taller, your knees complain a little louder, and your legs, once so reliable, begin to hesitate before taking that next step. And it's in those small hesitations that the fear starts to grow. You wonder, is this the beginning of decline? Is this how people start losing their independence one quiet, unnoticed moment at a time? The truth is, weakness doesn't always arrive as a dramatic event. Sometimes it sneaks in through repetition, through small things we let slip. Not because we don't care, but because life gets heavy, because we're tired, because after a certain age, the world stops expecting you to be strong. And sometimes, you stop expecting it of yourself too. But here's what most people don't realize. The human body isn't designed to break down this early. It's designed to adapt, to fight back, to rebuild, but only we give it what it needs. And more often than not, we don't. Let me tell you a little story, not about anyone famous. Just someone like you. Her name is Linda. She's 62, retired, lives alone. She walks her dog every morning, cooks her meals, stays relatively active. By all accounts, she's doing fine. But one day, she notices she's gripping the railing tighter as she goes down the stairs. Her thighs feel like they're not responding as quickly. She shrugs it off. A few weeks later, she trips, not a big fall, just a stumble, but it rattles her, makes her feel, I'm sure, the doctor tells her, it's normal aging. Her labs are fine. Nothing seems wrong. But Linda knows her body. She knows something's changing, something she can't quite name. What Linda's experiencing is early sarcopenia-related. Muscle loss that begins quietly as early as your 30s and accelerates after 60. It doesn't always show up in test results, but it shows in the little things: rising from low chairs, walking up inclines, getting out of the car. And here's the cruel irony. The weaker you get, the less you move. And the less you move, the faster the weakness spreads. It becomes a cycle. Linda starts avoiding the stairs. She chooses lighter groceries. She skips walks when she's tired. And little by little, her muscles shrink. Not because she's lazy, but because her fear is real. The body remembers that stumble. It adapts to protect, not to grow. But protection has a cost. Avoidance sends a message to the nervous system. We don't need this strength anymore, so your body lets it go. At the same time, another silent player is at work: chronic inflammation. As we age, our bodies often carry low-level inflammation caused by stress, processed food, lack of sleep, even loneliness. This inflammation isn't obvious like an injury, but it quietly weakens muscles, dulls nerve signals, and makes recovery slower. It's like having a tiny weight dragging you down every day, one that never quite lifts. And it's not just physical. There's a kind of emotional fatigue that sets in when your body doesn't feel like home anymore.
Wow.
When you look in the mirror and no longer see the version of yourself that once felt strong, capable, proud, you start doubting things you never used to. You wonder if people notice. You wonder if this is just your new reality. And that's when the real damage happens, not just in the body, but in the mind. Because weakness doesn't just take your strength, it takes your confidence. It makes you second-guess your steps. It makes you hesitate before standing on your tiptoes. Makes you avoid uneven ground. And the moment you start avoiding, your world begins to shrink. Smaller movements, shorter walks, fewer adventures, less life. And it doesn't have to be that way. But the hardest part, you may not even realize it's happening until it's already begun. Because you're still walking, still functioning, still showing up. But inside, there's a slow unraveling, a loss of trust in your own body, your own legs. And for many people, that's the part that hurts the most. It's not just the physical weakness. It's the grief of watching yourself fade from who you used to be. It's the quiet mourning of independence. The fear that you'll become a burden. The whisper in the back of your mind that says, maybe I'm just not strong anymore. Hey, but here's the truth. Strength doesn't leave overnight. It slips away in silence. Yes, but it can also return. With the same quiet determination. And that's what we'll explore next. Because once we understand what's been draining our strength, we can begin to take it back. Not through punishment, not through pushing ourselves past exhaustion, but through gentle, intentional, nourishing action. But before we get there, let's pause. Let's honor this moment, the recognition that something has shifted, that your legs, your body, your self-trust have felt distant lately, and that you're ready to reconnect? Because healing doesn't begin with motion. It begins with listening. Sometimes healing doesn't start with a solution. It starts with a pause, a breath, a soft moment of honesty where we say, something's changing, and I want to understand it, not fight it. You see, your body isn't betraying you. It's not. Giving up? It's simply adapting to how it's been treated, how it's been ignored, overlooked, or pushed too hard without care. And now, like a child who hasn't been heard in a long time, it's speaking in whispers, in fatigue, in shakiness, in silence. But what if that silence is an invitation to return to yourself, not with guilt or frustration, but with gentleness, not to fix your legs, but to listen to them. Your strength has not disappeared. It's only gone quiet. The truth is, many people live for years with slowly weakening legs, believing it's just age, just time, it's just fate. But science and experience tell us something more hopeful. Muscle responds, at any age, to love, challenge, and consistency. Even in your 70s, your 80s, your 90s, your muscles can grow, your nerves can reconnect. Your confidence can return. But we don't begin with squats or weights. We begin with awareness. Start small. Start by noticing how you sit, how often you get up. Whether you avoid stairs or embrace them. Whether you lean heavily on your hands when you stand. Trust your legs to rise. These little patterns matter. They shape the language your body speaks. And when you begin to gently challenge the matting resistance, engaging your hips, activating your thighs, you begin to teach your legs that they are still needed, still valued, still alive. But this isn't just physical. There's a deep emotional healing that comes when you decide to trust your body again. When you say, I am not broken, I am in process. Some days your legs will feel strong. Others, they may tremble. That's okay. That's not failure. That's growth. Because just like grief, just like love, just like life, strength comes in waves, and your only job is to stay present enough to ride them. And perhaps the hardest truth to accept is this. Many of us were never taught to care for our legs until we began to lose them. We took them for granted when they carried us up mountains, through busy cities, across dance floors. We didn't thank them when they stood in lines for hours, paced hospital halls, walked crying babies back to sleep. But now that they whisper for our attention, we have the chance to respond with something different. Not anger, not shame, but reverence. Because these legs have carried the weight of your life, and now they're asking you, will you carry them too? There is no shame in feeling weaker. There is no guilt in starting late. There is only power in choosing to begin. Begin by standing up a little slower, but more mindfully. Begin by stretching what has been stiff for too long. Begin by feeding your body what builds strength, not just food, but movement, rest, and emotional connection. Maybe you need more protein. Maybe you need sunlight. Maybe you need a short walk followed by a long bath. Whatever it is, listen, not to the noise of the world, but to the quiet truth inside your bones. You are not here to fade quietly. You are here to feel your feet on the earth again, to walk with purpose, to rise without fear, to trust that the power you once had is still within you waiting. And no, this isn't about being who you were 20 years ago. It's about becoming someone softer, wiser, more rooted, someone who no longer ignores the signs, but honors them. Because when you begin to move not out of fear, but out of love, your body remembers. And little by little, the trembling fades, the confidence returns, and your legs begin to speak with strength again. So tonight, if you're sitting quietly, wondering why your steps feel heavier than they used to, know this. You are not weak. You are not broken. You're simply being asked to return to your body, turn to your breath, Return to the quiet miracle of having legs that still carry you, even when you forgot how much they've done. If you're ready, healing begins now. Gently, slowly, faithfully. Because we cannot change the past, but we can love the body that survived it. And maybe, just maybe, that's where true strength begins. If you're still here, still listening, that means something inside you is ready. Ready to reconnect, to rebuild. Not in a rush, not out of fear, but with care, with grace. So let's talk gently, just between you and me, about what healing might look like, not in theory, but in the quiet details of your everyday life. You don't need a gym. You don't need perfect discipline. You don't need to punish your body into changing. All you need is to begin where you are, with what you have. Tomorrow morning before you brush your teeth, try this. Stand beside the wall. Gently rise up onto your toes. Hold. Lower. Do it 5 times. That's it. Nothing more. But when you do it, I want you to feel the earth under your feet. Feel your calves wake up. Feel the blood move. Feel your body remembering. And then later that day, sit down slowly into your chair, but before you do, pause halfway. Just hold that moment, even for a second. Then sit. And next time, maybe. Stand up without using your hands. You're at that one. Second, those few inches of resistance are where strength is reborn. These are not exercises. These are acts of recon, and if it's hard, if your knees creak, if your thighs trembled, don't fight it. Breathe. Smile gently at your body. It's trying. You're trying. That's more than enough now. Consider your food. Not with guilt, but with gratitude. Ask yourself, what would nourish the strength I want to rebuild? Maybe it's a little more protein. Maybe it's a warm soup with lentils. Maybe it's eggs in the morning or fish in the evening. Nothing extreme. Just enough to tell your body, I believe in your recovery. And don't forget the one thing most people do forget: hydration. Even mild dehydration slows nerve signals, reduces joint fluid, and increases fatigue. Slowly, often, as if each sip is a gift to your legs. And when you can go outside, let the sun find your skin. Let your shadow fall behind you as you walk, even if it's just 10 minutes. Even if your pace is slow, even if your steps are unsure. Walk as if you are saying, I am still here, because you are. And your legs, no matter how tired, still carry your story. They deserve your attention, your kindness, your belief. And one more thing, if you're willing, talk to someone about it. Tell a friend. I've been feeling a little weaker lately. You'd be surprised how many will say, me too. Strength doesn't always come from muscles. Sometimes it comes from not hiding anymore. From being honest, from being seen, and if no one else has told you today, let me be the one to say it. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not weak for struggling. You are strong for starting. So start small. Start slow. But start, and with every little step, let your body know, I'm not giving up on you. Because strength is not what you lost. It's what's still waiting. It's quietly to come home.